Buenos días, buenas tardes, y buenas noches. Bonjour, bonsoir. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. Jay Slater case. And for too long now, I have ignored a lot of good stuff that Man on the Ground in Tenerife, Noah, has been sending me. And today I want to put that to rights, partly because I did come across, Noah came across two articles that, I mean, that's kind of good news and bad news. Bad news in that the same kind of activity, the same kind of substances, the same kind of distribution that I think we all feel sure was going on in the Jay Slater case is still going on in the same area, in Adeje, in Arona, on the strip there. But the good news is, in these two separate articles, it looks like the police have started to actually detain and question and search those that are going into these festivals with all kinds of narco substances. If only that had happened in the Jay Slater case. We never like to get too excited about what's happening in Tenerife when it's, an indication that the police are doing their job. But on this occasion, I'm going to read the articles out and we will reflect on whether this is progress or not. Um, on a separate subject, still wearing the France shirt, despite, from France's perspective, the very disappointing result last night. But hats off to Espagna. Hats off to Espagna. I thought Espagna did a great job in nullifying the free-flowing French midfield and forwards. I really thought Spain did a great defensive job, and they took their chances. They didn't have that many, but they took them, and I thought the result was fair, to be honest. So it is Espagna in the final. And for England and Argentinian fans tonight, hopefully we will be treated to some fine, free-flowing football. But you never know. All right, football aside, getting back to these articles that Noah has sent, let us go to the first one where it says, and of course, links to these two articles will be put in the descriptions of the video. So if you want to read it at your leisure with the translation on, that's fine. I tend to go through it in Spanish and I will switch to English if there's any question I have, but I like to deal with the original. If that is okay. Apresado en el sur de Tenerife con un surtido de drogas sintéticas a la entrada de un festival de música. Again, see how familiar this sounds. Apresado, arrested or taken into custody in the south of Tenerife with a whole assortment of synthetic rugs at the entrance to a music festival. At the entrance to a music festival. I mean, the question always is for me is how did Lucy and Co., if we are right in assuming they are dealing, how do they get into these places? Is there no search whatsoever? Or is this searching before you go in there a new thing? I don't know. Party goers, I don't know if there's anyone young or young at heart, a la El Slugtardo, that maybe has been into these places. Do they search you going in? Un hombre fue interceptado. A man was intercepted por la Policía Nacional by Policía Nacional antes de acceder al recinto con ketamina. So he was stopped by Police Nacional before gaining access to the location with ketamina, good old ket, tusi. Not sure what that is. It's a synthetic drug of some sort. MDMA, we've heard that before, e cocaina. Now, going back to Jay Slater's toxicology report, wasn't it exactly that? Doesn't this seem to be the magic formula? Ketamina, MDMA, cocaína, and then this 2C thing. Okay. Integrantes de la Policía Nacional detuvieron al pasado sábado a un hombre de nacionalidad italiana. So he was an Italian guy, a man of Italian nationality who was arrested this past Saturday. And his name, Signore Brandono Hodgesono. Signore Brandono Hodgesono. Now, I am joking. I know that as we speak, the accident group are now writing, you see, Smith is a habitual liar. They can't tell simple humor from a blatant lie. So That is not true. The Italian man was not called Brandono Hodgisono. Yeah, they don't give his name, but he's Italian. Cuando trataba de con un surtido de drogas sintéticas, yeah, para vender a algunos de los asistentes, he was intending to sell this assortment of drogas sintéticas, synthetic drugs, to, well, asistentes, those that were attending, the attendees. El servicio fue efectuado por miembros de la Unidad de Prevención y Reacción, UPR. So there's a group called the UPR, the Unity of Prevention, or the group about prevention and reaction, que se encargaron de llevar a cabo el filtro de seguridad. They took over checking as people, security checks as people went into this event. Estos profesionales contaron con el apoyo del grupo de guías caninos. Ah, good. So the dog group, the dog team, they were assisting, of course, we would hope they would be, with the local police of the Ayuntamiento de Adeje, of Adeje Town Hall. Más de 100 gramos, more than 100 grams. Sounds like this Italian had more. I don't know. It's 100 gramos doesn't sound very much. I guess a gram, when it is a narco substance, is quite a lot. I don't know, but more than 100 grams doesn't sound like very much to me. Al varón apresado se le intervinieron más de 100 gramos en total de diferentes sustancias estupefacientes. So he had on him more than 100 grams of these narco substances. Así, en un registro le hallaron una decena de gramos de. So more than 10 grams of ketamina, more than 50 of MDMA, 20 of cocaína, and the rest of it tusi. Anyone know what tusi is? También conocido como, well, it says here, también conocida como cocaína rosa, also known as pink cocaína. There we go. Según los datos que han trascendido, el mencionado festival de música estaba previsto. Yeah, it mentions this music festival. I don't see the name of it. 4,000 people were supposed to be attending, and it doesn't say the name of the place. I wonder why they're keeping that back. Centro Céntrico Espacio de somewhere on the Costa Adeje. Además, los profesionales de la UPR levantaron medio centenar de actas. This is interesting. 50 reports of people consuming and in possession of narco substances en la vía pública, on the public street. You see, my question here is if they've got these 50 people that they've stopped and reported for possession of or use of on the public street, on the public way there, why isn't this done every single night, every single hour? It really is. I mean, we've talked about the, the cameras, the CCTV that the city hall there keeps suggesting might happen, will happen, it's got to happen at some point. But whichever way you look at it, even if you didn't have any CCTV, if you had this massive police presence and the bad guys knew that that massive police presence was going to be there 24/7 with the dogs, and let's say minimum sentence for possession and dealing of this kind of stuff was, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, life. I'm just saying there would be a deterrent. The way I see it at the moment, I don't see much of a deterrent. Maybe this Italian guy is going to find out that he was the first of many to, I don't know, to be made an example of. Who knows? Let's go to the second article. And this one talks about 3 people arrested for trying to traffic drogas sintéticas, more synthetic drugs. Now, it could well be the same event, and it could be a separate incident. I don't know. It's got to be separate, I think, because the first one mentioned this one Italian guy, and as we'll read in this one is 3 Spanish guys. I mean, good to know. For once, it would seem, no UK involvement, as far as I can see it. So we've got the Italian guy, now we've got 3 Spaniards. En un festival de música electrónica en Tenerife, it's another another techno music festival in Tenerife. Un dispositivo de la Policía Nacional y la Unidad Canina, once again, Policía Nacional, National Police, and the dog unit, canine unit, local de Adeje, in Adeje again, permitió detectar a los traficantes antes de que pudieran acceder. Same headline, really. Detected them before they got into this event. 3 men, all of them Spanish, were arrested for attempting to deal with drogas sintéticas, the synthetic drugs, en un festival de música electrónica, in a techno electro music celebrated in Tenerife. Los arrestos fueron realizados durante la tarde del pasado sábado, same day. So it must be the same event, same thing, same place. Last Saturday, at the entrance to the event que se desarrolló en la costa del municipio de Adeje. Once again, it's in Adeje. A team of Policía Nacional, the K9 unit, permitió detectar a los traficantes antes de que, yeah, same thing, found them before they got in. Now, the subheadline here, miles de personas, thousands of people. The festival, the electronic music festival, the techno festival, took place in un espacio habilitado para tal fin en las proximidades. Now, this I found interesting. There's a Chris Pennington link here. Don't get too excited. It's just the name La Caleta pops up. It says, en un espacio habilitado para tal fin. So this location where it was en las proximidades, in the area of el pueblo, the town La Caleta. La Caleta, in the Gulf Costa Adeje. Now, La Caleta, I feel sure, is where Chris Pennington says the elite, the very high and mighty, those with plenty of moolah, where they go to wine, dine, and celebrate life. La Caleta. Well, if that's true, then seems like La Caleta is also the area where people get arrested for dealing with synthetic narco substances. So maybe this La Caleta area ain't quite as exclusive as CP has been trying to sell us, huh? Al que se estima que acudieron unas 8,000 personas. 8,000 people were expected in total to come to this event. La actividad lúdica se celebró entre las. When was this event going on? Between 3 in the afternoon and midnight, last June 27th. So this is last month. Maybe it's a separate event. I don't know. Las fuerzas de seguridad establecieron un dispositivo que estuvo integrado por unos 16 agentes. There were 16 officers in this group. Again, the UPR, Unidad de Prevención y Reacción, que contaron con la colaboración de un policía de local police in Adeje, with the K9 unit. It really is the same story. Let's just find out who these people were, the 3 Spaniards arrested. No names, but it says their ages were from 20 to 40 years old. 20 to 40 years old. Doesn't match anyone we know in the Jay Slater story, I don't think. Dodgy Mayor Roman is over 40. Chris Pennington's not Spanish. He's over 40 anyway. Yeah, I don't think anyone we know could have been one of those 3, unless I've missed someone obvious. Como presuntos autores de sendos delitos contra la salud pública, blah, blah, blah. I think the rest of it is stuff that we already know. Todos los arrestados, everyone arrested, portaban drogas sintéticas. They were all carrying the synthetic substances, ecstasy, MDMA, MDMA, Tusi, there's Tusi, or Rosin, por ejemplo. Maybe Rosin is the same as Tusi, pink cocaine. Another 82 people were reported for possession and consumption. Nearly all of these drugs were synthetic drugs. I think that's it. There's a lot of repetition from the first article there. Now, as I say, we'll post these. You can read them if you want to. But my take on this, just to give you my 2 cents worth, I think if this is going to be a routine procedure from now on, this is excellent. I mean, to me, it stands to reason that if anyone, uh, you know, anyone at all thinks that there is a good chance that the K9 unit and the UPR group will check them before going in and, follow through with an arrest and charges, that can only be good. It is a deterrent. That said, this could well be something, knowing how it works in Tenerife, that happens for a week or two because this biggish festival was on and then it just isn't followed up on. Um, Another thing we do know for sure is that the accident group will not pay any attention to this. I think it's true to say the accident group don't care for any of this kind of article based on what is happening in Tenerife. They don't care whether post Jay Slater things are getting better, things are getting worse. It's that usual shoulder shrugging that, as Chris Pennington said, hey, why would you be surprised if it rains in Manchester? Why would you be surprised that this goes on in Tenerife? There is no concerted effort to bring awareness to the problem, to see which way the wind is blowing with the problem, if things are getting better, if things are getting worse. They just don't care. In fact, I'm tempted to say the accident group, if you were to tell them that another Jay Slater case had happened, or another 3 cases like that had happened, or more people had got arrested for trying to do the dealing that we think happened in the background of Jay Slater, I really think we'd still get that shoulder shrug, whether it be from Debbie Duncan, whether it be from Chris Pennington, whether it be from Ivor Lovelace. I think they'd all just, whether it be from Kaz Alice, they'd all just shrug their shoulders and say, yeah, that's what happens in life. Which makes me think that's what happens in their life. Which makes me think they could well be involved in this kind of thing, not necessarily in Tenerife, but eager just to shrug the shoulders to say, you know what, this is just how it is these days. Get used to it. Some of us aren't used to it. Let's leave it there. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, Noah, por esa información. Thank you for that information. And I will see you perhaps later today. If not, then mucha suerte, Inglaterra. Good luck to England. I think if Argentina are not stifled as France were by Spain yesterday, they might run riot in England's goal area. But you never know. You never know. Early goal for England might change the whole 90 minutes. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, and the final on Sunday. So Jan, I'm waiting to hear from you. If we can't do Sunday, then what day do we do? I will say hasta luego, adios, hasta la vista. See you next time.